Okay, everyone, thank you all for joining. This is Joseph Fentozzi. I'm Dydacomp's Senior Solutions Specialist, and with me today is a very special guest, one of Dydacomp's newest family members, Gary McDougall. He's our Vice President of Product Integration.
Hi, everyone.
And Gary actually has a long history with Dydacomp. He's worked with large number of M.O.M users who have actually linked different e-commerce platforms such as Magento and a number of other ones. What else have you used, Gary?
BigCommerce.
BigCommerce is another one.
Illusion. 3D cart.
3D cart. So these are just basic shopping carts you probably have all heard of over the years. Some of the names that I see on the panel of who are logged in, I recognize. So I want to point out that I'm sure we met in person. Gary used to have his own booth, and now I'm happy to say that he's actually going to be working with me in our booth. Together, I guess we'd have over, I want to say, 30 years experience in e-commerce and order processing, order management.
Yep, we've been doing it since 2001, 2002 with M.O.M systems. So.
Gary's our brilliant programming specialist. I've been with Dydacomp in the sales role, and recently in November of last year took over our senior sales engineer position. So what we're going to talk about today is connecting Magento to an order management system, and we're going to go through a live demonstration. I personally really don't like PowerPoints, however I do have a few that I just want to go through just to walk you through some of the the details. All of you who have attended are in listen-only mode. I like the fact that there's a questions panel down at the bottom of your screen there. In a lot of demos or webinars that I've attended, people prefer to wait till the end in order to ask questions. In my experience, I think it's really great if you ask questions during the presentation, so that way I have the panel open and I could see what you might have in mind or a question that you might have at that particular moment, so we can cover that. And it might be something that another customer or prospect who's on this particular call may not have thought of, and it'll help them as well. So during the presentation, feel welcome to just type in any questions. I'll be looking at it throughout the presentation. If your question for some reason is not addressed during the presentation, we'll definitely get back to you personally, whether it's me or one of our other sales reps, Greg, Lamont, Lou, we have Tom. You might be working with Rob. You might be working with me directly. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. Some of the things I've wanted to mention about who we are as Dydacomp is we have been in business for over 25 years, and our solution started out in the DOS days. And I guess Gary can say, with experience, that he's learned and taught himself the file structure and the database field names and all the changes that we came up with. He stayed current, and I give him a lot of credit for that. And you can see a sample listing of some of our Dydacomp and Magento clients. The nice thing about our product is that our clients cover all different industries and verticals. So whether you sell roses or dietary supplements like dragon herbs or cigars, DJ equipment or electronics, car parts or automotive parts like Morris 4x4, there's a large number of different verticals that our solution, M.O.M, Multichannel Order Manager, can cover. The presentation today I want to focus on is going to be the link, the actual system that is in between Magento and our order management program, which the link or the glue, if you will, is BizSync XL, and that's where Gary's specialty comes in. And we're going to be talking about that. So M.O.M is an order management solution that's been designed for small and mid-sized retailers. We also have a lot of really large businesses over the years that have started using M.O.M for fulfillment operations. So if for some reason, let's say you sell, I don't know, cell phones, you might also decide, I want to sell contact lenses. And you can use M.O.M in a scenario which we call multi-company, and Gary's going to get into a little bit more about how some of his implementations with Magento and BizSync allow for multiple stores and multiple channels, if you will. What we consider active, and you see here there's a number, 2,000 clients who are collectively generating $2.6 billion in annual sales. Those are our active users that are on one of our latest versions. Okay, so over the last 25 years, we sold close to or over 10,000 licenses, and I can assure you that we have plenty of them that are on our older versions, M.O.M 3, M.O.M 4, M.O.M 5, 6, and our current edition is 8.05. We're proud to say that we are a Magento Gold industry partner, as well as Gary, and he has plenty of experience. I mean, more than anyone that I've ever met, he has actually connected the most Magento stores to different back-end order management systems than anyone I know, or pretty much anyone any of you will ever know. So it's that's basically a brief history of who we are. Moving along, what we do is, and what BizSync XL is going to do, it's going to connect Magento, the e-commerce platform, to a back-office order and inventory management solution. And the plan is to automate your daily order processing and fulfillment functions. So most businesses that I work with on a daily basis have a problem. And they might have a Magento store. Okay, so let's say that would be like one database. And then they ship with UPS, so then they're using WorldShip, that's 2. And then they use FedEx Ship Manager, which is 3. They want to use QuickBooks for accounting, which is 4. And then they might have some other, reporting program. Maybe they use an Excel, Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, which is 5. And then they want to sell on Amazon, which would be 6. eBay, which would be 7. And then before you know it, you have 15 or 20 different programs running your business that don't communicate with each other. And what we want to show you today is that there actually is a solution out there that does give you that synergy across all platforms. In regards to inventory, we have very powerful dropship automation. We do support multiple warehouses. Some of you may be larger businesses, but don't be afraid. If you're a small business, we still do have a system that will fit your specific requirements. If hopefully not many, you do take a return. We do offer return merchandise authorizations, and we do everything from the pick, pack, and ship process, as well as the customer service, and get those customers to come back. So I'll show you some of those features and functionality during the actual live demo, which is coming up in just a few moments. The customer service data that you will have in, for instance, Amazon or eBay or Magento, you want to be able to share, have an omni-channel approach, and have all of this information stored in one central location. And I keep stressing that because you're not re-entering or cutting and pasting or, having to worry about errors or manual entry. It's all done for you, and it's synchronized. And that's what we're going to talk about when we look at M.O.M. And when I show you the bidirectional integration between M.O.M and Magento through BizSync XL, it's going to really blow your mind because it's already done. And you can look at other companies out there that you can spend $60,000 or $80,000 if you prefer. That will give you a beautiful integration between Magento and maybe M.O.M or some other order management system. But BizSync XL is already created. It's written. Gary has the experience. He's done it. He knows the history of Dydacomp. He knows the field and file structure, and has been a partner of ours for quite a few years. Anything else that I missed? Anything that you want to throw in there, Gary?
No, I just think that the problems you're trying to solve to talk from M.O.M to a shopping cart system have already been done. The business rules are built into something like BizSync XL. And if you were to go off and find a partner to do that development, as Joe pointed out, it's a pretty big project and can be a very expensive endeavor. BizSync XL kind of does that all for you and does a pretty darn good job of it.
Yeah, and it's very cost effective. So again, as a small business, don't be afraid. It's an expense, sure, but it's something that is already built for you, and it's out of the box. And it works, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works, because we're going to create a couple orders, or at least one order in my Magento store, and I'm going to show you how BizSync will download that order and validate it, and make sure that we don't create duplicate customer records, which is another problem people complain about on a regular basis. So the customer's experience, they have an e-commerce store. And going back to what Gary had mentioned, there's BigCommerce, there's Illusion, Magento, Commerce V3. There's so many. There's thousands of them out there, and they offer a lot of different things. You can have a programmer that's going to do some design work. That's going to be the customer's experience. That's your branding. That's your logo, your search engine optimization, your marketing functions. If you want to have like a promotion, maybe that'll go out to a particular URL, so you want to move a particular product that doesn't really sell well. Well, how do you know it doesn't sell well if you don't have a solution that can give you a report that does that? You also want to have prices and promotion. Buy 5, get this price. Buy 10 and get this price. Many of our customers do use a club membership feature, which is great if you want to have like a dietary supplement, for instance, where it cures, I don't know, arthritis. And every month I want to generate a new order, print a pick ticket, packing slip, box label, and have it sent out. So that's something that most web solutions can't offer or do not offer. And you need an order management system that can do that. And I'll show you some of those things in just a few moments. The website, the solution that you're using, may also manage your payment processing. The order acknowledgement, it's going to allow a customer to check out as a guest, register an account. They'll be able to get in there, view order status and tracking information, and then you'll be able to utilize that information that you've brought in, or at least that you've captured, and then link it to an order management system. And what the order management system does is the inventory control. So now you can sell on Fulfillment by Amazon or eBay, or have a retail store and maybe take phone orders, and you're entering that data into one place. So you have the on-hand, if you're going to drop ship, if you have any items that happen to be on back order that are not available to process and ship today, you need a system that's quickly and easily going to pick, pack, ship, print out your labels, handle your returns, and manage the inventory as quickly and easily as possible. Get your payment validation, whether you're using the tokenization, which is the new PCI compliant, and which we're proud to say is PCI compliant. M.O.M is PCI compliant. And then, of course, feeding that data over to your accounting program. So you have this synergy between your order, your product, your customer, and your inventory information. And is there anything else that you'd like to add, Gary?
I think it's important to understand, too, that between the connections, you want to make sure that you're secure and that your software, that's your integration piece, is also PCI compliant in the process, and that everything is in scope with your workflow and the way you're doing things.
Beautiful. So the order management capabilities beyond Magento that you as a merchant, as a business, should have is inventory control, inventory management. Maybe you have multiple warehouses. Maybe you only have one warehouse, but you have multiple bins. And maybe within, like for instance, you might have a pick bin, but when you receive inventory, you receive it into like the back part of the warehouse, so that at least it's in stock, but it may not be on the shelf in a particular area. Drop shipping is really big now, and it helps tremendously because small businesses can now compete with the big boys, and they don't have to have any of that overhead. They don't have to have a big, giant 500,000 square foot warehouse because they have suppliers that will ship on their behalf. You can create bin prioritization, like I said, RMAs. You can have multiple shipping methods or payment methods based on a source key. How did you hear about us? Within this time frame and this time frame, you're going to generate a special promotional price. Maybe if you're a wholesaler, you get this discount, things like that. You want to be able to sync the inventory across multiple channels and have it all automated. So Amazon knows if you had 100 in stock and you just sold 5 over the phone, Amazon, eBay, Magento all know that there's now 95 available. You want to be able to have a pick, pack, and ship workflow. You want to be able to have a pick ticket, a packing slip, be able to print out your box label, and not have to go to 5 or 6 different programs in order to get that process done. And you need an order management system that's actually going to allow you to do that. So as orders are created by your customers, they're automatically downloaded. Some of the terms in regards to Magento, yeah, there's simple products, okay, an item that's just standard like a football. There's attributed products, certain things that might have size, color variations. Groups basically are kits, and bundles is another way to allow you to build a kit where you can select different items that make up a particular kit. Very popular with companies that sell cookies. So if I have like a peanut allergy, I may not necessarily want to pick a group of cookies that have peanut butter in them. I love oatmeal, I love chocolate chip, I love chocolate chip, so I can pick and choose which of those cookies I like. And this e-commerce solution would allow you, like Magento, will allow you to do something like that. And then, after the orders are processed and you've pick, packed, and shipped them, you want to upload the order status and tracking details back there so that the customer, they're not going to call your customer service 800 number. You want them to go directly to your web store, log in, and view the online order status and tracking details. And that's going to make your life a lot easier because now you don't have phones ringing all day long, people not getting email confirmation notices about tracking details, and they're going to say, hey, where's my order? I haven't received it yet. They'll get an email confirmation notice. It's all automated, as well as be able to log online and view that status. So you also, as I mentioned, can sync product, the price, tax, shipping charges, the inventory, of course, and any of the orders that might have been processed. So why would you integrate? Why would you do this? I mean, if I didn't explain it to you already, you want to connect your Magento e-commerce platform to an essential back office solution such as M.O.M. And e-commerce merchants, they have far too many manual processes in place in order to upload data, synchronize orders, upload inventory, and you have way too many channels that are processing and taking orders, and then inventory is deducting. You take a phone order, maybe you have a retail store. What do you have in stock? Let's say you have a retail store, and there's 15 of a particular item available for sale, but it's just sitting in the retail store on a shelf. But your web store does not communicate with your retail store order management solution. Now, somebody goes to your web store like Magento, and they want to place an order for that item. Magento, being a separate database, shows 0 is available. But you really have 15 available for sale. So now what? You just lost that sale. The customer is going to go somewhere else, and they're going to buy that particular product because your store online doesn't see what's actually truly available in the retail store. So now it's just collecting dust, waiting for somebody to come in and buy. Same thing goes with eBay, same thing goes with Amazon. You want to be able to fulfill the order and have one back-end database that's going to share all the information and take care of it in an automated process. And then, of course, posting over to like Peachtree or QuickBooks or Mass90, you just need an accounting program that can do your profit and loss statement. You know, you can, out of our solution, you can feed over the summary data if you want, the bottom line, cost of goods sold, sales tax collected, shipping charges, etc. Or maybe you want to send over the transactional detail. What did Mary Smith buy? How did she pay? Does she owe us any money? Did we invoice her? And when you create purchase orders, you want to be able to feed that data over to your QuickBooks, for instance, as well. So let me take a look and see if we have particular questions, and then I'll open this up here. Give me 1 second to pull this over here. All right, so now that we have a whole bunch, all right, so everybody wants to know, will we send the deck out after the call? Better than sending out the deck, I'm actually recording this webinar for all of you, and we're going to make it available for you to download. So I definitely want you all to know that that is one thing that we'll have available. We'll send you out a link for those of you that attended, and you know, even the ones that had registered and did not attend, we'll get a link and they'll be able to download it. But it's something that I think you should see. Now, is the automatic downloading of orders on demand done through ChannelBrain? Okay, in regards to Magento, the answer is yes. Okay, so we're going to connect, and I have a Magento store, which I'll show you. We'll create an order, and I'm going to download those orders into my M.O.M system. I'll do the pick, pack, and ship process, and then I'm going to feed it back up to the Magento store so that the customers will be able to see that. So yes, we definitely do have that. So let me just drag this back down and view what we have here. All right. Okay. So why BizSync XL? I said already, it's built. It's done. It's created for you. It's already done. You don't have to create anything using APIs. You don't have to pay extra programmers to have something created from complete scratch by somebody who barely knows any of the data structure of M.O.M, and most certainly, more than likely, won't know the data structure and the fields in Magento. And the reason why I say that is because there's too many fields in Magento that are customizable, if you will, that you can set up as required. And Gary here and his team of programmers developed it in such a way that it automatically enables the data to be transferred back and forth. So it's, you know, it is totally automated. It's scheduled. You can do it one at a time. You know, it is something that, and I'm going to show you. We're going to create that item. But the integration between Magento and M.O.M, we do support both Community and Enterprise Edition of Magento. So most of you, if you're larger, are probably on Enterprise. The smaller businesses typically go with the Community Edition, but there's no right answer. My store happens to be a Community Edition store. And again, like I said, it can be completely automated and hands-free. Gary, how did you enable it? Because I haven't shown anybody BizSync yet, and I want to show them exactly how that process is. So what steps would I have to take in order to automate
sure.
the BizSync order downloading?
See, there's two ways to do it. The product is shipped with a control panel. You can run everything manually by just simply running the tasks and clicking the button or running the particular task that you want to run, like a download orders or a sync shipments or sync product quantities. Those are broken out into specific tasks. If you want to automate those tasks, we also ship with the product a command line version of the product that can be scheduled using Windows Task Scheduler, and we set that up for the customer based on the needs when they want to run these tasks and automate them. Subsequently, if you want to complete the automatic download with M.O.M, you can use the automatic import facility to have your orders come right down from BizSync into a folder, and M.O.M picks them right up and imports them right in.
Excellent. Now, one of the questions here is the automatic downloading of orders on demand done through ChannelBrain? So ChannelBrain was prior to Dydacomp acquiring ChannelBrain. So do we say correctly that, in all honesty, BizSync XL is now a Dydacomp product, and you are a member of our team?
That's correct. I'm an employee of Dydacomp, and the product BizSync XL is a product that is owned by Dydacomp now, correct.
Excellent question. So I'm proud to say that, you know, working with Gary over all these years, finally we are partners, and no longer partners, we're actually, you know, colleagues. Yeah, we work together. We're in the same office. Our headquarters for Dydacomp is based out of New Jersey. If any of you on this call would like to come and visit us, you can come out here. Gary has a nice office up in Boston area. He is a tremendously, how do I say it, a huge Red Sox fan, and I am a huge Yankees fan. So it's tough every time we have meetings every once in a while. But you know, getting beyond that, you know, we work really, really well together. And BizSync XL, it is a complete turnkey package. And there are a number of different solutions available in packages that you can, you know, based on what you require. And there's, you know, a standard edition, we have a premium edition, but it's much more affordable and cost-effective than building your own integrated solution. I can guarantee that. I, again, have worked with a lot of programmers. We do have an API in M.O.M. Gary utilized the API and was able to access the fields that we have that's available in the SQL and SQL Express edition of M.O.M. So it works really, really well. Some of you might be existing users on M.O.M 6 or 5 even. Number one, you're not PCI compliant, so I would definitely consider upgrading as soon as possible before you lose the ability to process credit cards. But Gary does have experience working with M.O.M 4, 5, 6, and most importantly 7 and 8. So the best integration that we have that he put together with this solution is it is built off of our M.O.M version 8 solution. Let's see.
Questions?
Yeah, there's a question. I need to send a file to in a specific structured CSV to have a fulfillment company send out all our Magento and Amazon orders. Can your system be customized to send out a CSV file in the format needed by our fulfillment company? Can we import their tracking data so that all orders can be closed out in Magento and Amazon? Okay.
You want to answer that? Or I can try to.
Why don't you do? Yeah, attack the Magento side, and I'll show them the Amazon side because the Amazon is already built in and integrated.
Yeah, the order importing, basically when you're bringing orders down from Magento, they get placed into an XML file on, you can put them on a disk someplace in your network, and then you can, it sounds like the question was, how do I get those over to a fulfillment house?
Or, yeah, he must have a fulfillment company, and
Right.
He wants to be able to create that. Now,
So they're going to have a specific CSV?
correct, yeah, they must have it in a certain
So
format. And
they could take that XML file and transform it to a CSV. We can certainly help them figure that out.
Right.
And then that could be FTP'd someplace for that fulfillment house. And what was the second part of that question?
It was just about Amazon and closed out, and then when he gets I guess the fulfillment house will process the orders, do the pick, pack, and ship.
Right, and then the shipments come back, right?
They'll probably get a CSV, for instance, that has the order number and then the tracking numbers, maybe, order number and then if it's two different order tracking numbers, if they split the boxes up. The answer to your question is yes. If you want, I could jump into that. I'll actually show you that during, we're at the end of the PowerPoint, so I'll show you exactly how that process would work. But in this instance, you have Magento Store. The nice, beautiful light bulb is our BizSync XL. That's what's going to be the bridge between the customer and order and payment information into Multichannel Order Manager. You pick, pack, and ship your orders that way, and then it goes directly back into Magento. There is another question here. This must have been someone who jumped on a little bit later, but what other shopping cart has BizSync XL set up to work with out of the box?
BigCommerce.
BigCommerce.
Volution. 3D Cart, and obviously Magento.
Okay, so you are planning on building that out and enhancing it?
Yeah, there's, if people feel strongly about particular shopping carts, they should send us an email or, really it's based on demand and need. We've looked at a couple others out there that we might support in the future. It really is dependent on the customer base and what they need. And right now we feel the 5 that we have are the big ones we have. Yeah. And I shall say we also support Magento Go on the downloading of orders and updating of shipment tracking information supported there. But if the customers feel that they have a particular shopping cart that they'd like to see supported, obviously send us the information and we'll take it into consideration.
Another thing that I just want to mention on top of what Gary had just said was that, I've gone to probably 9 or 10 internet retailer conferences. Gary, I know you've gone to this over the years. And one of the big problems that I've seen is that a lot of smaller companies come and go. And if you build or spend the amount of hours that it takes to integrate directly to an e-commerce platform that a year later is out of business or doesn't exist, it's kind of like a complete and total waste of time. So if you do want to send an email over to Gary, your email direct would be, what would you recommend?
Gary.m@Dydacomp.com.
Okay. We'll have that on the next slide at the end when after the presentation I'll show you the actual contact information for each of us. So, all right, we covered that one. We covered those. That all looks good. Can we add Shopify to the development list? It's actually a funny question.
But it's actually, you know, there's a lot of interest in Shopify.
Off the record.
There's a lot of interest in Shopify, and there has been discussions about adding Shopify. So we're taking that one into consideration.
All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at, this is our contact information. So I just want to show you a live demo. We do have some time. Let me just open this up, and I'm going to show you my store. So aesthetically, forget the way my Magento store looks like. I am a member of the Red Cross, and March is Red Cross Month, and also a member of the National Bone Marrow Donor Program. So I have that. And we have a number of different products, like some, you know, baseballs, let's say, since we're talking about the Yankees and Sox. I will add this to the cart, and we'll just add one of those. And what I want to show you now is, as the merchant, as the business, and your customer is going to create an order. So here I have a baseball, and let's just pick an electronic device that I have here. So Voltron is the toy I used to play with when I was a kid, so we'll get one of those. And let's see, what do I have in favorites here? Halloween isn't around the corner, so I don't need that awesome official Batman costume. But maybe I'll buy a, you know, I don't know, this mom tutorial, the mom working trial kit. So I have 3 different items, okay? And now I'll go ahead and proceed to checkout. And I'm already registered, so let me just drag this up to the top here, and I will log in. On our Wi-Fi, so let's just hit refresh. Okay, so now I'm going to log in here. All right, now I have an address. You'll notice I have one address. If I wanted to, as most of you may know, if you enable it, you can create or allow multi-ship within Magento, where you can create one order with 4 or 5 line items going to different addresses. The way Magento handles that is that it'll create 4, or for instance, or 5 different orders. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to ship this to my 9 Campus Drive in Parsippany address. So I'm happy with that. And I guess I could ship it, here's my UPS methods. Ground looks good enough. Okay, and we'll continue. And now how do I want to pay for it? I can pay for it by credit card, but for this one, I'll just use my check or money order and place my order. Now, this is something that I want to mention that's very, 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 very important. So my order number 34 here, it's like 1,000,000,000,000,034. 634. So keep in mind, 1,000,000,000,034. Now, this is my Magento order number. This particular number is what's going to import into M.O.M as the alternate order number. So I want to just keep track of this so you'll be able to see exactly how this is going to work. Now, if I would have just enabled the automatic downloading, and all you would have seen is completed, 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 and it wouldn't have made any sense to any of you on this call. So the way that I have set my system up is to do it manually. So more than likely, the smaller businesses that are sitting in on this call, yeah, maybe you would want to do it manually. Doubtful, but it is possible. Maybe you want to, you know, just to have an extra level of, you know, just to review orders or whatever the case may be. So now I go into BizSync. This is the BizSync XL Enterprise Solution. I have all my configuration set up. I really don't want to spend too much time going through, you know, how to configure the store and link it to the database and verify your connection and show you all that, and then all my tools. Okay, great. It connects out to my my store. Okay, wonderful, and it connects, and everything is all valid. This is part of implementation, and we're going to make sure that you have the direct connection between your BizSync XL solution and Magento and, for instance, M.O.M, which is what we're talking about today. I'm not going to go through all the other details, but we'll just hit OK here. So with that being said, I want to download my orders. So I'm going to run my task. Now, what Gary had mentioned earlier was that you can schedule this so it's done every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, every 25 minutes, whatever the case may be. But I don't want you to just see completed here. So what I'm going to do is just do it manually. So I want to download orders and I want to convert them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to execute it. Now keep in mind, my order number 34. So now I have 2 orders. Excellent. I created an order prior to us joining each other on this webinar. So I have 2 orders and the task downloaded successfully. So that's fantastic. Now, within M.O.M, there is, under Options, Order Import Export Module, an automatic import feature. And you can click this, and I can drop it down and choose BizSync XL. And you basically, like, I hate to use the guy's term, but you set it and forget it. You walk away, and then now the orders are automatically downloading every so many minutes, and M.O.M will be able to have them ready in the batch, ready to be processed. But I didn't enable that, so I want to manually download these orders. So I'm just going to go in here, import orders, and I'm going to choose my BizSync XL, and I'm going to process these. Now, I have a feature turned on to confirm that my orders don't have duplicate records. So it'll look at a customer, and this is exactly what I wanted to pop up. So it'll check to see if the address already exists, and if it does, it's going to add it to that customer record. And this is another problem that a lot of people complain about, is that if you spell your name, capital J, lowercase f, you put 9 Campus DR or 9 Campus Drive, and you spell it a little bit differently. So we'll go ahead and we'll just review these orders. And you can see address was found, and it already had 9 Campus Drive as an existing customer. So without going through all the whole process, just to show you, I'm going to resolve all those and close it out. So they're all completed. And now I downloaded my 2 orders. So what was it? 1,033,000 and 1,034,000. Okay, great. So now, if I look up a customer's order number, I can go into alternate order number, 1,000,000,000,34. Now, if I did this right, this better be a baseball, it better be a Voltron, and what was that other item that I looked up? My brochure, my M.O.M brochure. And I paid via check. And there it is, there's my check. So maybe now I want to receive my check, I can put that in here. You know, a couple days, whatever, 61, 65. So everything is beautiful. Everything looks great. I can click on my baseball. I can find out all the details about the baseball. I can see a nice image of it. I can see all the details. Wonderful. So I go ahead and close this, and I can go ahead and I can save this particular order. Now, it's ready to be processed. So let me just move this down here, clear it. Now, again, within M.O.M, our Dydacomp's order management solution, there's an option in the global parameters. And this is probably one of the most important areas of the solution that we have. If you're an owner or operator of the business, more than likely you're not going to allow anybody else in your business to go in here, to this maintain system information global parameters. But again, 10 years I've been here, and Gary, you can agree to this. I mean, every single M.O.M user that I've experienced or worked with over the years uses M.O.M in a different fashion. So some of you may be smaller businesses that don't have more than one warehouse. You don't have a picker and packer's workstation, and you might do everything on your own, and that's great. So I'll just show you real quick. In the global parameters, there's an area for order processing. You might do everything in the batch, and I'm going to show you what that is, what that looks like. We're going to go into the batch processing, and it's going to show you actually how to import the order file from your fulfillment, the tracking detail from your fulfillment center for the person that asked that question. But I'm slowing it down, again, because I don't want to just show completed, because you'll never understand what really took place. So I'm going to let a packer's workstation process the stage, and I want to require all my items get barcode scanned as they're being packed. Now, some of you might sell high-end jewelry, some of you might sell dietary supplements or If you ever watched on TV, usually you see like those gold coin companies. Most of them are M.O.M users, and every one of their items are barcode scanned, and they all have serialized inventory items, and we can handle all that. So in my scenario, I'm going to let a Packers workstation process this. So in my batch, you'll notice packing slips are grayed out. That's because I want my picker-packer, to go and he's going to validate each of those orders separately. So I have a couple orders here that are waiting to be processed. Okay, great. 2408, 2410, 2411. The order that I just downloaded, that was 1,000,034, should be this 2411. And we'll see that in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll process this. I'll just show you what a pick ticket looks like. If you do barcode scanning, everything would be barcoded. If you barcode scan your bin locations, you might have those that are particularly barcoded. So those are already set up for you. Let me just close this, and I'll print that out. And now it's going to just run through, and it'll all say completed. See, if I would have just done that by clicking process once, none of you would have had any idea what just took place. So now, for those of you that only have one warehouse, I want you to close one eye, because as you grow, you might want to be able to have a second warehouse. And I actually have a warehouse manager that's going to assign these 3 orders over to one of my pickers or packers. So I'm going to give them all over to Joe Fantozzi. So here he gets all those orders, and he goes and we close it. So now let's just imagine in a real-world scenario what just took place. The orders were enabled to automatically download. It's Monday morning. You come in as the boss. It's 8 a.m. The orders have already been downloaded. They're ready to go. You printed out the pick tickets because your warehouse person, Joe, is going to be the one that's doing the picking and packing. So all he has to do when he comes in is hang up his jacket and walk over to the printer in the warehouse, and he's going to start picking and picking those items off the shelf. So now, Joe, now you're the boss. So you go in, you might want to run some reports. You go in here, profit and response. You want to see your profit by product report, and you could select, for this particular month, you could choose a time frame, a date range, and then I can choose for this week, this month, this year. It's a whole bunch of options here. You can create all kinds of other cool reports based on different criteria that you've saved. Okay, love it. Wonderful. So now I run my reports, and Joe, my warehouse guy, he shows up a little bit late. He's a little bit late, but he brought me Dunkin' Donuts, so I'm happy. So he gives me a cup of coffee, and I get a donut, and I say, hey, Joe, I already printed out the paperwork in the printer downstairs. Get started and go do your thing. Joe will log into M.O.M. The first screen he's going to log into is the Packers workstation. And because I'm barcoding everything, I'm going to let him scan the pick ticket, and it'll open up the order. And then here's our baseball brochure in the Voltron. This is the order that I created 2411. Beautiful. That's the M.O.M order number, because I might take a phone order, and that's going to have a different number than the Magento order. So, okay, we'll scan it. We'll scan it. We'll scan it. Okay, beautiful. And now I print out my packing slip. At this point, M.O.M's communicating with UPS, because that's the shipping method I chose, and we're going to view it. Everything looks beautiful. I have all my details, and then this is my peelable box label, where I can fold the page up, and I can stick this in a little label, plastic envelope, and then I go ahead and I'll print that baby out. So it's done, and then I just have to keep moving my questions over. Any questions so far? I don't really see other questions coming in. Everybody can hear me. And looking good. Okay, good. So now we'll just finish doing these last orders here. So I'm going to pack these, print my packing slip. Does the same thing. Communicates with FedEx or UPS. I don't know which one this was. There, UPS ground. And we'll print that one. So whether it's 100 orders, 1,000 orders, it could be automated. If I just click to refresh list, and I'll go back into my Packers workstation, and I'll show you something that's very important. I'm doing it, again, manually. So more than likely, you're never going to do this, okay? But now if I go into my maintain system information global parameters, and on my order processing design, see how it says Packer's Workstation manually processes this stage? I can set it to automatically processes this stage. So now your whole business is set up to for automation. It's downloading all your web orders. It's printing out all your pick tickets and packing slips. It's all automated. Everything is all done, and you really don't have to click anything until when the time comes when you're going to print out when you want to email out your shipping labels. So now that my order is completed and it's shipped, I can go back in here. There's my 3 orders, and now what's going to happen? Okay, about a month or 2 months ago, UPS kept showing up to our office here, and they were getting upset because I kept trying to ship Voltrons and baseballs and M.O.M brochures. So, because I actually sent a file to UPS. So they were showing up trying to pick those items up. So I had my programmers write a little script to stop the file transfer. So you're going to see 2 little messages pop up here. It's basically just saying that the file never made it over to UPS, which is what I'm expecting right here. So I'm going to print out my shipping labels, print out my shipping manifest. And this is a standard shipping manifest. If you're using UPS, you can print this right out of M.O.M, FedEx, same thing, all out of M.O.M. Done in one system, print. And now this is where you'll see sending file to UPS. Look in the top right-hand corner, sending file to UPS, and then I had it stop so that it didn't actually transfer a file. So they didn't complain about Voltrons and baseballs. So this isn't really an error message. I expected that, but it still allows me to print out my barcode summary report. So whether it's 100 orders or 1,000 or just 2 or 12 orders, they can scan this one barcode, and it represents all the different orders together. So we'll go ahead and we'll finish this part off and print that out. And now we're done. So now that my orders have shipped, the next thing I want to do is I want to upload back to Magento my order status and shipping information. So I'll just go ahead and execute that. 32, 34, completed, beautiful, 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 beautiful. There's my 34. I love it. Everything is so smooth. It's gorgeous. So I go back to my account, and there's order number 34. I love it. It's so smooth. Completed. View order. And track your order. So it also posted up the tracking information. Track my package. Click on track. Goes out to UPS. Again, I'm not really shipping UPS. I'm not really shipping Voltrons and baseballs, but you get the idea. Had that been a real order that was really scanned by UPS, I did it kind of fast, but I wanted to slow it down just so you can see. That is how BizSync XL works, and it syncs between M.O.M and Magento. It's done. Just like that. We can modify it if you want to process everything automatically, so there's no issues there. And it doesn't really get any easier than having all that set up. It's beautiful. Gary, is there anything that you'd like to add that I didn't show from your product? What else can your BizSync product do? Well, I just want to open it up just to show some of the other tasks that they have.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you showed was some products like the baseball and some of the things with Magento and BigCommerce. We can synchronize product information over to the shopping carts from M.O.M and create product, update product quantities, update pricing. On Magento, we support quantity and percent discounts. So a lot of the product integration part that you're not seeing here is supported in the product. The ability to keep within M.O.M all of the product data, but have it synchronized to your shopping cart is built into the product, and that's really an important part of the puzzle that really does save the customer a lot of time, especially with quantity updates. You showed the shipment updates, and that could run in the background as your warehouse people are packing boxes. That thing can be running all the time, sending tracking numbers up and completing. and also could be running quantity updates and doing your quantities and your pricing updates. So the product really has the ability to be automated in your operation to really simplify and ease the workflow.
Okay, so there are a couple questions that came in that saw this. So we have some good ones here. How is the inventory kept synchronized between different stores? Okay, now there is a solution where you can have multiple Magento stores.
Correct.
How does BizSync XL handle that?
Yeah, and that's a great question. We have the ability, if you can go previous screen there, on the BizSync, you can show previous.
Oh, go previous.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And then you can see at the top where it says Store Configurations. Joe has one store set up right now, but in there you can create multiple stores.
Just hit new store here.
Yeah, you hit a new store, and then you can create a whole new configuration for your multiple Magento stores where you can actually filter and send products to those stores individually from M.O.M. based on if you've got a multiple company in M.O.M. or by marking or flagging a field inside of a product, which a lot of our customers do. They might use the advanced one field, put a store one in there, and then only send those products to store one in Magento. And then when the orders come down, they get put into that particular store's folder for that particular, and it isolates each store. So the product supports multiple stores in Magento, multiple channels. I've got customers, well, we've got customers that have BigCommerce and Magento, and they'll send products to those two different stores from their inventory in M.O.M. So it's a very powerful feature, especially where customers are trying to sell in multiple domains and multiple companies and trying to spread their inventory to their different channels.
Okay, here's a great question that I see from, this one comes from Dawn. With BizSync XL, can you send product information directly to Magento so it doesn't have to be typed in twice when we make changes or add a new item? So what if like a purchase order comes in, I create a PO and I receive 100 units. There's an option where I can upload or sync my product information.
Correct.
So under the tasks here,
Product sync products, right?
Sync products. That's basically how I did it.
So,
sync product quantities. Okay, so I set it up, I receive it into M.O.M, or I take a phone order or an Amazon order. Let me just jump back here. In regards to like Amazon, for instance, you can go in and we have eCommerce management. There's an eCommerce manager station. I happen to have all of them.
right.
But for Amazon, it automatically communicates, it downloads and brings in orders, uploads the order acknowledgement, the package information and tracking details, syncs inventory, publish new product information. So an order from Amazon comes in. I had 100 units in stock. Person on Amazon buys 5. Now there's 95 available. So what you're saying is that BizSync XL has the feature, if I enable it to be automated, that it will upload now and say there's 95 available in my Magento store.
Correct, and I think the question actually was for description information, right? So she's asking.
Descriptions, okay,
right?
that's another thing.
So she's saying, you know, I've got some collateral in M.O.M that I've done some real, you know, a lot of work on for my descriptions for my products and my titles. And the answer is yes. When you sync products, you can tell BizSync you want to update your description information for that product, and that you can do it either from M.O.M or keep your descriptions in Magento and block them from being updated. It work out of Magento. So we actually have a lot of customers that have a hybrid, the way they work in a hybrid manner where they'll keep the product information in M.O.M, like the title, the SKU, the quantity, the pricing, but actually manage the website collateral out of Magento. And then we have a lot of customers that actually would like just to work right out of M.O.M and do everything within M.O.M and decide to just change a description in M.O.M and have it change on the Magento side. So we support both methods of that ability to sync.
I think that might have answered Chris's question, which was we have multiple companies or databases within M.O.M who use different e-commerce solutions. Is the license per company, or would one license cover multiple databases? Now, as far as I know, because there are different versions that we're selling of the BizSync XL solution, there's a single store version, there's a 5-store version, and then there's like an unlimited store version, a 10-store. So there are different options that are available.
Yeah, so somebody that wants to sell to multiple domains to say they want to sell into BigCommerce and then have a Magento store, and they have they have inventory they want to send from M.O.M. They would have to, right now the current plan and packages that you purchase there's the standard edition, the professional edition, and what we call the enterprise edition, which supports, and the enterprise edition supports multiple stores, multiple companies. The professional edition is single store, single company, and the standard edition is essentially order integration for downloading of orders, and that would also be a single company installation. So if somebody wanted to do multiple companies, they'd have to go to the enterprise version of our product. Right?
Okay, so excellent. So that is basically the same thing. Everybody's asking about multiple stores.
Yep.
I have 2 stores. Can I segment products, orders in M.O.M? So we already covered that by putting in a unique qualifier in the advanced field. Okay, so we covered that. For example, I have a rare gold coin company. All sales are done on the phone. We are launching a new business, totally online, selling bullion only. Can we use the same instance of M.O.M and add the Magento integration and keep the orders segmented, or do we need a new M.O.M account? Now, in that scenario, from my perspective, I would probably just use a single company, right, because it's a certain segment of the products that they're selling that I would put up to Magento, for instance, and then just create an order type, which would be Amazon, Magento, phone, fax orders, and so on. So, Kristen, definitely want to get more information about exactly how you're doing that.
Yeah, I'll comment to that. The tool, if you show them the M.O.M panel and go into the options, you'll see real quickly there that in BizSync.
Oh, in BizSync,
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Go to, and then hit Previous, and go up. It'll put up the configuration, the store configuration for M.O.M.
Okay.
And then you'll see right there, hit the Options button. The first panel will show you some interesting things we can do with filtering products from M.O.M up to Magento or to the shopping cart. Using a custom field filter, you can actually say, I only want to send for this particular store configuration products that I mark with the word, with the letter W in the advanced one field.
This is that sync using a custom field filter?
You got it.
Okay, so I'm publishing everything in
right now you're sending all your site link information.
Okay, so everything that I've fed from site link, descriptions, images, and so on, I'm feeding everything.
That's right.
But this particular customer might want to separate that out and say where a specific field, product class code equals whatever, or advanced code equals blah, 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 and then that will send just those products up there. Okay, correct. Beautiful. Can different tasks be automated at different intervals, like quantity and inventory every 5 minutes, and then the orders twice a day, and then shipping tracking once a day after a certain time?
Yeah, in fact, we built the product so that you can set up Windows Task Schedule to schedule any time you'd like to for any of the tasks.
All right, and let me see. Is the M.O.M tutorial that you just added to your cart an actual product? How do you get it if so? Okay, we historically did sell a M.O.M tutorial for $25. And what we found was that people kind of winged it, and it was like, difficult to update if there was a new build or whatever the case was. And yeah, we basically changed our sales process to do one-on-one online demos. If you need a copy of the downloadable tutorial, Rosalind, I will get you a URL where you can download it. Just keep in mind that it's our original M.O.M 800 build. It does not have the new features that we added in M.O.M 805. With that, that looks like all the questions that we covered. Hopefully you enjoyed this presentation as much as I did. And Gary, welcome to Dydacomp. It's a pleasure to finally work with you officially as part of the same family. And I'll be glad to demo BizSync for any of you that are on the call. And let us know if there's any way we can help during implementation or during the sales process. Our 800 number here, 1-800-858-3666. My extension, this is Joe, is extension 245. You can email sales@dydacomp.com, but I will download a listing of all the attendees, and then we'll go through the questions and make sure that whoever wants a copy, all of you who attended will get a copy of a link to the webinar, which we did record today. So again, thank you all so much for your time, and we really appreciate it. So have a fantastic day, and we'll look forward to talking with you again soon.